Yep. Now we're going to talk about Pakistan losing it with TTP. Something very interesting is happening. All of us have read about Pakistan having problems with TTP and things like that. I think the problem is getting more, complicated by the day. Now it has started affecting their internal issues also. Uh, Superficially, you don't understand it. Okay. I've earlier examined the Pakistan versus Afghan angle and all that. Till, the other day I read this article by Muhammad Amir Rana in Dawn. It says negotiating with terrorists. He writes a lot about security affairs, and he's written extensively about this Taliban and TTP and all that. So this article I found it very interesting. What does he say in this article? He says when it comes to addressing terrorism, there is a divide between the military and political leadership, and it is stark. So they don't know how to handle this whole story. The military leadership favors a coercive approach, and the political leadership wants a political settlement. And he says this divergent idea became evident when there was a meeting in Peshawar about 10-15 days back. The chief of army staff went there with the politicians, and they had a issue with each other. Okay. Further to that, there's this, if you remember, those 16 or 18 nuclear scientists were kidnapped by the TTP. Out of them, one has been found dead. Why did he die? Wherever they were kept in a hideout, the Pakistanis shelled that place, carried out operations. And the way ham-handed method Pakistan army did, one chap died. So only his body was given in the shell after shelling. He was shelled and killed by Pakistanis. Instead of rescuing, he's killed. So the others also will meet their end. But then, let me analyze this story a little bit. This divide between the Pakistan army and political thing, where is it heading? Let's talk about the military. See, there's a clear incapability of Pak military to do anything against the TTP. The last time they went and did all the action in Waziristan and all these places, and did what they had to. They displaced the TTP, but they also did a lot of displacement of Pashtuns in that along the Durand line, for which so far they have not had a solution, and they have not won back the people in that belt. This time, Azme Istakam is going on for 6 months, but Pakistan army has not been able to do anything. Right? Why? Because the Pakistan army is still focusing on J&K. It is focusing on India. That's their prime reason of existence. And they are worried that they'll lose J&K. They already lost elections. Do bar ho gaya udhar. There's Aman and Shanti firing. So they have to do something, and they don't have the capability. They don't have the capability. That is very clear. They don't have the capability to handle J&K or create problems in J&K, and they are not able to handle TTP also militarily. Okay, but they have time to do great power games. We are still the strategic frontier, all that. They're doing China's bidding. They're equipping themselves with submarines and latest aircraft and ships and all. And they want to ensure with China there'll be a great naval power. Their focus is somewhere else. Okay, and that's the way they'll stay in power. That they are the ones who are dealing with China. No one else can deal with China. We'll sort out India. All that nonsense they'll keep talking, but they will not be able to sort out TTP. Okay, and they'll be making money out of this whole story. Jahan se paisa aaya. And they want to now get to Bangladesh. This incompetent army, which has never won a single war. They say Pakistan is the most professional army never to have won a single war. They have See, they'll do everything except sort out TTP. So militarily, Pakistan is in a position where they cannot do anything against the TTP. That is what their people are saying. That follow. Okay. Now, what about the politicians? Let's talk about the politicians. We know that politically everyone is weak. The PTI government in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa doesn't want to do anything. Shahbaz Sharif government is not capable of doing anything. So politically they can do very little. Okay. They don't have any credibility. They don't have credibility internationally. They don't have credibility in the Arab world or the Muslim world. They don't have credibility with TTP. They don't have credibility with the PTM, Pashtun Tahafuz movement. Okay. They are not even relevant in the national fabric as of today. Shahbaz Sharif ko bolega wo bat. If the chief of army staff says sit down, Shahbaz Sharif will sit down. Uto, so he'll stand up. He's like a monkey. Okay. But they want to be in power. See, that's the point. They're part of the elite. They want to be in power and make money. So the only point of congruence between the political system and the military system in Pakistan is they want to be in power and make money. Okay. So they can't sort out a TTP. Now let's look at the TTP. TTP has been growing strength to strength. Earlier also, Pakistan had treaties with them and deals with them and all. TTP has broken everything. And TTP takes a maximalist position without budging. So there's no question of, any deal. But one thing TTP has is they've developed local support. Why? Last time around, there were so many displaced persons, people, IDPs, internally displaced people in this entire Durand Line belt. So the local support is not there. They don't want to support the Pakistan army or the state to carry out any operations. They don't have money also. Neither the locals have money, they are in a poor state. Pakistan army bhi to kangal hai. Abhi to US aid bhi band ho gaya. So they are in a bad shape. Now TTP and BLA are now coordinating with each other. On that, there's no doubt about it. Right? And we must remember, one other thing which Pakistanis are worried about is like, this is the same. Why should we make a deal with them? These are the same people who did that Lal Masjid massacre, AP Army School massacre. After all, the same guys, these TTP people killed children in that army school. Who are the children who were killed? The children of army people. And against them also, these chaps are not able to do anything. Now, what's the equation between Taliban and TTP? They are good friends. Okay. They're good friends. They have equations with each other. No two Pashtuns will fight with each other. But I'll tell you a story in the end. That's a different thing. Then another thing. You think you can sort it out through Afghanistan? Forget it. In Afghanistan, 3 days back, a Chinese engineer was killed. Some time back, there was an attack on Chinese who was staying in a hotel. Pakistan, we know how many people have been wiped out. So the Chinese are also at risk. Now, who will help whom in this belt? You see how desperate their situation is. And over and above that, there's also this thing which is coming out now. Okay? They are worried. India has started. This is coming down again. It's a big analysis. India's coating of the Taliban. So you have done one pincer move. So this will ensure there'll be no peace in, I wouldn't say no peace. We'll do what we have to do. Taliban will make a choice whether to be friends with Pakistan or with us. Who will give them more goodies? That it comes down to that. So what do? We should do everything to ensure that Pakistan remains fixed on the western border. Not that we have to do much. So far, I have done this analysis from an outsider's viewpoint. Now, I explained to you what is the inside thing which they feel. They are not able to go far and then they don't have a hope. So if they don't have a hope, now we need to have a game plan to bottle Pakistan and so that this nexus between Bangladesh and Pakistan, which is starting, is snipped. We have to think as to how to do this. Is it only through Taliban, or there are other methods? Right? There are, which we will discuss as we unroll things. I'll discuss those things also. Right? And so this is where it is. Pakistan is losing it with TTP. We should know. We should have strategic patience to let them lose even further before we have to resort to doing anything. Ideally, we shouldn't. Ideally, we should let Pakistan stew in its own juices.